Why time flies as you get older. Have you ever noticed that time seems to move faster as you get older? When you were a child, a single summer vacation could feel like it lasted forever. Waiting for your birthday felt like an eternity. Christmas seemed so far away that it felt like it would never arrive. But now, weeks disappear, months fly by, and somehow, you look at the calendar and realize that another year has already passed. You might even find yourself asking a strange question. Where did all the time go? The interesting thing is that time itself isn't actually moving faster. A minute is still 60 seconds. An hour is still 60 minutes. And a day is still 24 hours. So why does time feel like it's speeding up as we get older? The answer has a lot to do with how your brain experiences and remembers time. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons. Your brain measures time through memories. Think about your childhood. You probably remember certain moments very clearly. Your first day at school. Your first birthday party that you can remember. A family vacation. The first time you rode a bicycle. The first time you visited a new place. Maybe you remember your first pet. Or the first time you experienced something that completely surprised you. When you were young, almost everything was new. Your brain was constantly experiencing things for the first time. New places, new people, new foods, new experiences, new emotions. Because these experiences were new, your brain paid more attention to them. And when your brain pays attention to something, it tends to create stronger memories. This can make a period of time feel longer when you look back on it. Think about a vacation you've taken. Imagine spending 7 days in a completely new country. Every day, you visit a different place. You try new foods. You meet new people. You see things you've never seen before. When you return home, those 7 days may feel like a huge period of time. Your brain has collected hundreds of new memories. Now compare that to 7 days of doing exactly the same thing every day. You wake up. You go to work. You come home. You eat dinner. You watch television. You go to sleep. Then you repeat the same routine. After 7 days, you may feel like the week disappeared. The amount of actual time was exactly the same. But your brain created fewer distinct memories. And that can make the period feel shorter when you look back on it. This brings us to another important reason. Routine makes time feel faster. As we get older, our lives often become more predictable. When you're a child, almost every year brings major changes. You move from one class to another. You learn new subjects. You make new friends. You discover new hobbies. You visit new places. Your abilities change rapidly. Even your body is changing constantly. But as an adult, life can become more repetitive. You might wake up at the same time every morning, drive the same route to work, sit at the same desk, eat similar meals, come home, watch the same shows, go to sleep, then do it all again the next day, and the next, and the next. The problem is that your brain doesn't need to pay as much attention to familiar experiences. When something becomes routine, your brain can process it with less effort. You don't need to remember every detail of your daily commute. You don't need to consciously think about every step you take when making coffee. Your brain has already learned the routine. So instead of creating thousands of unique memories, many days become blended together. Monday feels like Tuesday. Tuesday feels like Wednesday. And suddenly, the month is over. Now think about the opposite. Imagine that you spend an entire year traveling to new places. Every month, you're somewhere different. You're meeting new people, learning new skills, trying new foods, experiencing unfamiliar situations. At the end of that year, you might look back and feel like it lasted a very long time. Not because the year actually lasted longer, but because your brain has many more memories to separate that year into distinct moments. This leads to another interesting idea. The more new experiences you have, the longer life may feel. This doesn't mean you need to travel around the world every month. Sometimes, small changes can make a difference. Try taking a different route home. Learn a new skill. Visit a place you've never been. Try a new hobby. Meet new people. Read about something you've never studied before. Even changing your daily routine occasionally can give your brain new experiences to remember. So perhaps one way to make life feel less like it's rushing past you is to stop living every day exactly the same way. You don't need to completely change your life. You simply need to give yourself new experiences and new memories. Because when you look back, the moments that stand out are usually the moments when something was different. A new place, a new person, a new challenge, a new experience. These moments create landmarks in your memory. And those landmarks can make a period of your life feel much longer when you look back on it. There is another fascinating reason why time can seem faster as you get older. It's the percentage of your life that each year represents. Think about a 1-year-old child. For that child, 1 year represents their entire life. 1 year is 100% of everything they've ever experienced. Now think about a 10-year-old. 1 year represents 10% of their life. For a 20-year-old, 1 year represents 5%. For a 50-year-old, 1 year represents only 2%. So as you get older, each individual year becomes a smaller fraction of your total life experience. This doesn't literally change how time works, but it may influence how you perceive the passing of time. A year can feel enormous when you've only been alive for 5 years, but the same year may feel much smaller when you've lived for 50 years. It's like looking at the same distance on two different maps. On one map, the distance might take up most of the page. On another, it might look like a tiny line. The distance hasn't changed. Only your perspective has changed. But there's something else happening in your brain. Your attention changes how you experience time. Have you ever been so busy or focused on something that you suddenly realized hours had passed? Maybe you were playing a video game, working on a project, watching a great movie, having an interesting conversation, or simply scrolling through your phone. You look at the clock and think, wait, how is it already this late? This happens because your attention was focused on something else. You weren't constantly checking the passage of time. Your brain was busy processing the activity in front of you. But the opposite can happen too. Think about waiting for something. Waiting at a doctor's office. Waiting for a delayed flight. Waiting for an important phone call. Suddenly, every minute feels extremely long. You check the clock. 5 minutes have passed. You check again. Only 2 minutes have passed. Time feels painfully slow. The clock hasn't changed its speed. Your attention has changed. When you're focused on time itself, every second becomes noticeable. When you're focused on something else, time can seem to disappear. This may help explain why adulthood can sometimes feel like it's moving so quickly. Adults often have busy schedules. Work, bills, family responsibilities, appointments, deadlines, errands. There is always something else to do. Your attention is constantly moving from one responsibility to another. And before you know it, another week has passed. Another month has passed, and another year has disappeared from the calendar. But there is an important difference between how you experience time and how you remember time. Imagine you're having an amazing vacation. While you're actually experiencing it, the days might seem to pass quickly. You're having fun. You're busy. And this is why creating new memories may be so important. If you want your years to feel more meaningful and memorable, you may need to give your brain more moments worth remembering. You don't have to make every day exciting. That's impossible. Life will always contain routines, but you can occasionally interrupt those routines. Try something new. Go somewhere different. Learn something you've always wanted to learn. Have a conversation with someone you normally wouldn't talk to. Take a different route. Put your phone down and pay attention to what's happening around you. Because sometimes, the problem isn't that life is actually getting shorter. It's that we're spending more of it on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot, days can blend together. One Monday becomes another Monday. One month becomes another month. And suddenly, you realize you've been doing the same thing for years. So perhaps the real secret to making life feel longer isn't trying to slow down the clock. Maybe it's about paying more attention to the moments you're already living. Notice the small things. Remember the places you visit. Take pictures. Talk to people. Try new experiences. Celebrate important moments. Learn something new. Create memories that give your brain something unique to hold on to. Because when you look back at your life, you won't remember every ordinary Tuesday. You won't remember every morning you rushed to work. You won't remember every hour you spent staring at a screen. What you'll remember are the moments that stood out. The first time you did something new. The people you met. The places you visited. The challenges you overcame. The experiences that changed you. And those moments become the landmarks of your life. So, why does time seem to fly as you get older? It's not because the clock is moving faster. It's because your perception of time changes. Your routines become more predictable. New experiences become less frequent. Your brain creates fewer distinct memories from ordinary days. And each year becomes a smaller fraction of the life you've already lived. But here's the good news. You still have some control over how you experience the time you have left. You can choose to be more present. You can choose to try new things. You can choose to break your routine. You can choose to create memories. And you can choose to pay attention to the life happening around you. Maybe time will always seem to move faster as we get older. But perhaps we can make the journey feel richer by filling it with moments worth remembering. Because in the end, life isn't measured only by the number of years you've lived. It's also measured by the number of moments you truly remember. So the next time you look at the calendar and wonder where the year went, don't just wish for more time. Ask yourself a different question. What new memory can I create today? Because you may not be able to slow down time. So, maybe time isn't actually moving faster as we get older. Maybe we're just experiencing fewer new moments and paying less attention to the ones we have. So try something new. Make new memories. And most importantly, enjoy the time you have now. Because time may fly, but the memories we create can last forever. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more interesting stories. Thanks for watching.